So, I got an email from somebody regarding one of my favorite targets.
It must be Ray.
It is Ray.
Yay!
The first email that I got from him says, I think you've mentioned challenging Ray to a debate, but that he's refused. That's not true. Ray doesn't answer me. And also, investigation determined that in order to get Ray, for example, here for a debate, we'd have to pay him.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait around until Ray has to pay me. He says, I got to debate him for 30 minutes for free on Saturday in front of a large group of people. I got in some good points and even took a good-natured stab at him. At one point he said, do you think I like doing this on a Saturday afternoon during the summertime? I wish I was at home with my wife and kids. And I won't try to do his voice. I replied, I wish you were too. None of it was filmed, sadly, for a later broadcast, but I know the audio was recorded by someone in his camp. Most Saturdays you can find him from 1:30 to 3:30 on the Huntington Beach Pier, street preaching and trying to find people to take his Are You a Good Person test. I'd love to see the AE folks show up one day, camera in tow, and face him in public, later putting the video up on your show for all to see. Yeah, if we can get out to Huntington Beach, that's on my short list. For those of you, for other atheists out in Huntington Beach area looking for something fun to do on a Saturday afternoon from 1:30 to 3:30, why don't you go take a big jump off a short pier?
Well, from everything I have seen of Ray Comfort, he's bad at debating but good at editing. So
yeah.
That's why it's important to bring your own camera and not rely on his.
But this is why I bring this up. Michael, who sent me this, and thank you very much, because this is probably going to end up being referenced more than once by me. P.S. At one point, I brought up 2 Kings 2:23 and 24 in order to combat his claim that God is good. The 2 Kings passage is the one where they tease Elijah and go up the bald head, and then Elijah curses them, and 2 bears come out and maul them. And Ray called him out on it, Ray called me out on it, telling me God himself didn't send the bears. I countered him on it, and he challenged me to read it aloud from the Bible. Someone in the crowd handed me one, so I looked up the verses and read them, emphasizing the wording which alludes to the fact that after Elijah cursed the kids in the name of God, the 2 bears came out and killed 42 of them. Again, he said, it doesn't say God did it. And I asked, so you're telling me it was just a coincidence? And Ray said, could have been.
Wow. That is so lame.
You poor excuse for an apologist, you cowardly little fuck, afraid to stand up for what you really believe. Why in the world would anybody include this passage about a prophet of God being taunted and mocked by a crowd who then curses them, and coincidentally a couple bears come and rip up 42 people? Either you know, if you have an objection to what the Bible has to say about what your God probably did, why don't you just say it?
Yeah,
what's
have
this?
the balls.
It could have just been a coincidence. Hey, guess what? You know what? So could that empty fucking tomb you think is evidence of everything.
Yeah, and don't Christians love to play the hypothetical game where they say, like, well, if there was a God who had all these properties, then don't you think that it would be smart for you to act this way? I think turnabout being fair play, you could say, well, if God had sent the bears after them, wouldn't that be really fucking sick?
Yeah, that's kind of what I asked Michael if he followed up. I said, did you ask what the point of the story was and why tell a story about this? And I didn't ask what you would have asked, which was the best question, which was, if this is something that God did or sanctioned, do you find that objectionable? And to which, knowing Ray, I'm betting that his response would have been another avoidance by saying, who am I to judge God?
Yep, that's exactly what he'd say.
Who are you to judge God?
Right.
God is the ultimate moral
if
authority.
I cannot judge God, then I cannot say that God is the ultimate moral authority. I cannot say he's good or bad. I cannot say anything about him if I can't judge him.
Yeah.
So just shut up, all you Christians.
The only thing that Ray's position would hold is that you could determine that if all of this is true, it's in your best interest to follow along. Otherwise, you're going to get beaten like a
Yeah. That would be Pascal.
So, yeah, thanks, Michael, for sending that in. That message got flagged for me to go back to over and over again.